Today I'm going to show you how you can set up your custom Wix blog landing page on your Wix website by using Wix code, known as Corvid. What's up, you guys? Thanks for tuning in with your boy Nino, and I got a tutorial for you guys today on how you can set up your own blog landing page. So let's get started. So I remember going in my last video on the Wix blog for the beginners level tutorial. In that last video, I did it on the same exact website here that I have, okay? And I just wanted to show you guys from that beginners level to this intermediate or expert level type of tutorial here I got for you guys. All right, and that is just how you can create your own landing page for your blog. So that means when people click up here at blog, they'll see a customized landing page that is customized for just whatever liking that you want. Okay, and in today's tutorial we're going to be using a lot of things. So if you guys are not familiar with all of the Wix tools and the Wix add-ins and added features here and there, just go ahead and experiment as best you can and to tag along as best you can. If you have any questions, definitely leave it in the comments below and I'll surely get back to you guys. It's just been like a little on and off because of, you know, the coronavirus and stuff like that. So I just wanted to make sure that I can be available as fast and efficiently as possible. Okay, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So what I want to do first is I want to go into dev mode. All right, I want to turn this dev mode on. All right, so I'm going to go to dev mode. I'm going to go ahead, exit out of here, go ahead and minimize this a little bit. Okay, open up this blog. All right, as you can see, we have categories and we have posts. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna have to minimize this too. Okay, then I'm gonna just click content manager because it's just showing up here. I need to get that off. All right, so now that we have this whole entire site structure on the side and, you know, the developer mode is on. All right, so I want to go ahead and head on over to blog. This is our original blog landing page, okay? And this is what I'm talking about. You have your custom feed widget here, and then you're just your regular blog one here, okay? Which is your regular blog and how it will show up on your site. They have limited types of look and feel to the blogs itself. So that's why I came here and I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and show you guys how to customize that by just pulling it straight from the database itself using Wix code, all right, or Corvid. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on this Wix blog and I'm going to click collapse because I can't take it off of the Wix blog site. There's no way of like deleting it, which let me go ahead and bring out my toolbar real quick. And then as you can see, I can't delete it, right? So I am just going to collapse it on load. All right, so that means I'm just going to push this all the way down until I get to the bottom. All right, yeah, so I already have like a preset of different a style that I originally wanted, and so I already did a style that I liked and that I really enjoyed doing on one of my sites. So I'm actually going to bring it on over. So I'm going to have to delete this. So I'm going to come over here and delete this. And then I'm going to use the copy and paste method from that I showed you guys actually in a video. And I'll put it in the right hand corner. I'll post a link there as I speak now. And so in that tutorial, I showed you guys how easily it was where you could copy information from another site onto a site that you're working on right now. So if anything that you had like previous designs or something like that, you could easily come over here to add and go to my designs, or you can easily copy and paste that from another editor that you have open right then of another website. Okay, so that is exactly what I'm going to be doing right now. All right, so I think I like this title, so I'm just going to head and move it down a little bit just to get it out of the way for when I copy my stuff over. So give me just a few seconds and I'll copy that thing, pow, right on over. Okay, so boom, here I have my actual template that I have made for another site. And so now that I have this in place here, I'm gonna go over my code that I use to pull in information from the blog, and then also just to give you guys a little tip about how to set, you know, days ago on here as well. But before I do anything like that, what I want to do here is I want to go to my blog and I want to create another category. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to my dashboard, and now I'm going to go to my category list. All right, so here I'm going to go to categories, and I already have competition, which has 3 posts on it. But then also I want to create a new category and call this I don't know, what should I call this? Updates. I don't know. All right, so there you go. There you have it. Now, actually, like I said before in the other tutorial, you have your category URL slug. If you don't want it to show updates, you can make it up and then just keep it as that, or you could just keep it as updates and just go ahead and type it back in as that. All right, for your SEO social sharing, I'll just keep it as updates. I'm not actually going to publish this, but you know, get the gist of putting this information in there so that people can know exactly what is this category all about. All right, so let's go ahead and save that. All right, so now I got two categories here. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the coding. Now, after you got your repeater, okay, so here is my selection tags. All right, general basic column strip here and header. Then you have my selection tags here that I will put my categories in. Then also you have here, which I should change this. Shouldn't be no recipe. It should just be repeater 1, which that would be just repeater 1. All right. Then your post strip here. Okay. And then you have your days ago, your title, your excerpt, your categories repeater, just to show like the different categories that it's associated with. And then you have your image here. All right, so these are all the basics that you need. Just your image, your title of the post, and then also the excerpt and all that other cool stuff. All right, so what I want to do now is get into the code. All right, so now that you see that I have this as collapsed on load, all right, so I made that a collapse. But then also here, what I have here is there are no posts currently subscribed for updates. All right, so I just created this no post column strip. So if there's no posts that are showing up in the blog's post database, then I need something to show up that signals to people and my visitors that, you know, something is coming, something is on the horizons to be shown as a post. All right, and then also I went down here, like I said before, and I just collapsed this blog 1. All right, but we're going to be getting information from the blog database here. All right, so once I have those set up that way, Now let's go ahead and get into the code. Since I've already skipped through all of that, I don't have to, let you guys see a whole thing of me doing all of that. I just have a template. All right, so what I want to do here first is I want to import data, Wix data, and then I want to import Wix location, because we need to push this to another location, which is up here, my post location, which it will go to. All right, and I'll show you that in a few seconds. So you just go to Wix location. All right, and then what we want to do here is we want to add some functions. Okay, so the first function I want to declare is the days ago. Okay, and this days ago is going to be very important to have on here. So I'm just going ahead and name it time ago. All right, because we're dealing with time here. We're dealing with time. All right, and what I want to do here is say let time ago info equal this. All right, now stay with me, guys. All right, so let num let now equal new date. This is how you get a new date, which will be whatever date it is on that date that the visitor visits the website. Okay, and then it will start backtracking. All right, so what I say is this is the current time. All right, so let's go ahead and say let the difference of that equal to now minus the parameter, because we're going to be putting this into the time ago parameter. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and speed through this real quick so that I don't take up you guys' time. All right, so that is my time ago. And then in this code I just did is if there's a difference, if the difference is less than minutes, like the amount of minutes, then it'll just say just now. Okay. Yeah, so that is all of it. It's gonna be actually on my website, so make sure you check out my website, but if not, it's here. I'm giving you guys a little chance to see this. If you want to pause this now, you can, but this is definitely a good little, I don't know what they call it, Easter egg. So that it could help you out along the way with any of your coding. So if you're trying to do like time ago, that's like the Easter egg in this little section. All right, so here we go. So what we're gonna do here now is we're gonna let's go ahead and find the post. All right, so I'm gonna say an async function. Okay, and we're gonna say load post. Okay, and then we're gonna have the parameter there, and what we're gonna do here is gonna say Wix data dot query, and the way that we query the blog and post, the way we do that is we go ahead and put in, just like it shows, blog. Okay, but then here it is, we put this /. Okay, we put the / in there, and then we put in the same exact way that it's shown here as post. All right, then what we want to do is we want to just say find. All right, we're just going to do a dot find without any options, and then we're going to do a dot then to return some type of result. All right, so what I want to do here is I want to say asynchronous result, which I'm just going to call it res. All right, and then we're going to do here, we're going to get this on rejected out of there, because I'm just going to put it in where it shows your error. But yeah, this is getting on my nerves. Stop. Okay, everybody, this wants to get on my nerves right now. Okay, so let me just go somewhere else. All right, sweet. Okay, so what I want to do here is an if-else statement. All right, and I want to say result. All right, so or the rec. I don't know why I put it as rec. I thought I put it as result. Excuse me for that typo. That's what happens when you're doing this. All right, results.items. This will actually pull all of the items that are coming out of this res. All right, and then also you want to focus on the length. All right, just to see if it's greater than 0. If it's not greater than 0, then that's when we come into play with the no post column strip. All right, so what I'm going to do here is going ahead and I think I remember it was called post strip, and so we want to expand that. All right, but before we expand that, we want to actually put it into the data set. So we're going to put that into our repeater. All right, repeater 1 dot data, which equals the res dot items. Okay, and we want to await those things before it gets put in there. All right, await is with asynchronous function, and so this is waiting for this response. So once it gets all of the items in there and then it populates it into the repeater's data, then it will go on to the next thing. And that's what I like about this thing. It's very powerful to use asynchronous. So I highly suggest you using it when you want things to go in order and you want things to wait for certain things to get done. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that there, and then also I want to collapse, all right, the no post column strip. All right, so we're gonna head and collapse that. All right, and then we're gonna expand it. Now what we want to do here is to do the complete opposite without even populating our repeater's data. There is a good practice that you want to empty the repeater. So if it doesn't find anything, just empty it. That's just good practice, I think. But you guys can do whatever you guys makes you feel happy. But I think this is pretty cool for me. All right, so I'm just going ahead and switch these things out real quick. All right, so that is basically how you load your posts. All right, this is all of the post information that I'm going to get. All right, so the next one that we're going to do here, and also while I'm at it, I might as well go ahead and say load post. All right, without the parameter. I'm not putting any parameter into this whole function, so everything should be good. All right, so now I want to do another asynchronous function, and I'm going to name this load categories. All right, and in this load categories, I'm going to do the same exact thing, okay, that I did in load post, okay, but instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of the categories information and push it into the, let me go ahead and show you. So I'm going to go ahead and push it into this selection tag, okay? And with the selection tab, it has options, just like you would have it in your drop down menu. You have that type of option where it has the label and then it has the value, okay? And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna put the label and value into this selection tag so that it can be shown. All right, so what we're gonna do here is the basic same thing here. I mean, I guess we could just copy and paste it really. Let's see, and I'm just gonna take some things out. So go ahead and copy and paste that right there. Blog post, we're gonna keep that to categories. All right, just like it shows up here, okay guys? What we want to do here is we want to create like a on its own, like excuse me, what we want to create is an array, okay, empty array. So I'm just gonna say array info, and this is going to be nothing. All right. And the reason why I'm putting this array info here is so that we can put those options together to populate this selection tag. Okay. All right. So what we want to do here now is, let's see, we're going to take some of this stuff out because we don't need that anymore. All right. I'm going to take this stuff out too. All right. So now that we have these items, what I want to do is make it a lot easier for me to not use res items all the time. Instead, what I'm gonna do here is let's see, I'm just gonna call it C items. I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I'm just gonna call it C items. Hey, there you go. All right, that means category items. All right, and so I'm gonna replace this with C items. All right, so I put it as C items here. Okay, and let's go ahead and just lowercase that, C items. All right, dot length. Okay, now what I want to do here is I want to push all of that information, like the label and the let's see, what do I want to do? I'll put the label in there, and then we're gonna go to C items. Okay, C items dot map. Okay, and what we're gonna do is get rid of all this information content, and then we're gonna say param. Okay, and then what we're gonna do here is do that array info dot push. Okay, and this push is actually pushing information into that array as its own like array item. Okay, it pushes new array items. That's why I said new LT, new, length or something like that. So that's what we're gonna do here. All right, so you want to put in those curly brackets. All right, and then inside those curly brackets, we're gonna say label, and we're going to go ahead and fish for that label. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna stop here first, and I'm gonna go over to categories. All right, with inside the categories database, you're going to have you're going to have the field name label. Okay, here. So what you want to do is use that field name. So in order to see that field name without its unique name, you want to go to properties. Okay, and you want to see that field key. All right, that's the field name, but the field key is what you really want. All right, so you can go in there and you can do that for each and every one of these here. All right, by just clicking here on the properties. All right, you see the post count? That's what we're gonna be using too. All right, you see the post here. You'll see the properties name. You see that it's a multi-reference field type, all that good stuff. I explained this about the databases in another tutorial, so I will put that link in the top right-hand corner as I speak. But literally, this is something that I've been doing for a while now, and it's pretty cool, actually. So let's go ahead, skip that. We're gonna go ahead and put in that label. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to go into C items. All right, and I'm going to go ahead in there and look at each item label. All right, each item's label is going to go in there. All right, then I want to go to the value, and just like I said before, I want to put in the link, and I'll put this into another tutorial that I do next, and then I'll tag along to this in the comments below. Let's see, so this is the value. All right, and then what I want to do is C items, and the reason why I'm putting it in brackets and in parentheses, excuse me, in quotes, sorry, not parentheses, but the reason why I'm putting it in brackets and quotes is so that it can get to the links that have like dashes in them. or excuse me, not the links, but the field keys that have dashes in them, just like this one that I'm about to show you. Actually, we don't have it here because I haven't created that categories dynamic database. But you know what? Let me go ahead and do that right now, and then I'll just save this for the next part, which will be part 2. Am I gonna do that now? No, I'm not gonna do that right now. But I'm just gonna set this up for my next tutorial. Okay, so you go here and you put in link categories and dash label. All right, so this will be its generated field key for a dynamic page. Okay, and that will be linked to the dynamic page, so that when someone clicks on the selection category here, it takes them straight to that that website. All right, straight to that dynamic page. All right, so once we got those in there and it's all pushed up, then what I want to do here is I want to go ahead and put this into categories. All right, so as I have a sync here, what I want to do here inside here is say await. All right, I want to await for that to finish up. All right, before you go into the next step. All right, we're gonna say options equals C items. All right, excuse me, not C items, sorry. We're gonna do array info. All right, so that array info has all the pushed information that we did from this mapping. All right, we mapped each and every item to array info and populated it here. Okay, so once we did that, what we want to do is on else, we want to do a console log, just so that we know exactly what's happening to our data set, that we don't have any categories. Okay, so no categories. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead, look at this. It says text 406, and then this is categories, right? So for text 406 and categories, and you can do this here to add more than one. I highly suggest it when you're just using like basic show and hide or collapse and expand. But when it goes into detail about, you know, the particular functions of those of these elements here, it's gonna get a little bit complicated, and I refrain from you guys using it for those things unless they have similar functions, just like I'm about to do right now, which is collapse. All right, and it's gonna just collapse that. If I were to refresh this, it's already not collapsed, so it's automatically gonna show up. And also I don't have a set interval in here that's gonna keep looking for categories every second, so I don't really have to put it up here in the true section of the if statement to expand it. But just as like practice, you know, we're just gonna expand it just in case something happens. I don't know. Once we have loaded categories, what we want to do here is go over to our categories selection tags. All right, what we're going to do here is do an OnClick event. All right, and this event will fire off. All right, so what we're going to do here is click on that add button, click enter. It's going to automatically push this into our section here in our blog page code. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say Wix location .to, and then the URL will be the value of categories. But just remember, this is going to be a value, okay? But we got to set it to a string when we're putting it inside of the Wix.to location, all right? That way that it goes straight to that desired location and not anywhere else or give me an error, all right? Because it has to be a string when it goes inside of the 2 parentheses. All right, so now that we got the categories click function there, now what we want to do is create an on item ready function so that we tell exactly where these items will go for inside the repeater. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click add. I'm going to add a repeater here, and I'm just going to go ahead and skip through all of this and then explain later, okay? But also what I want to tell you guys is you can put a sync onto these functions here, but you have to put it after the export, okay? So just remember always when you're trying to put a sync to an export function, put the sync right there after the export and before the function, okay? Label. All right, so like I said, I'm going to go straight through this quick. So the reason why I'm putting a default image is so that, you know, it has something to go back to. All right, so if the image is not there, it's going to go back to this default image. All right, so that, you know, whatever that image was before, we're going to capture that. All right, so for here, I'm going to go ahead and speed it up. So I just want to stop right here, you guys. I forgot to tell you guys that we need to look into the post. All right, before I even go into making sure that I'm putting things together, make sure that you go to your post information on your database, all right, and look at the field keys. All right, look at the field keys. Once this loads up, all right, so like we did with the categories, we wanted to go here, see the properties, and see the field key. That's title. All right, and then all of these other ones you'll have to look into. I'm not going to go into them right now because I already set things up for this thing to show. All right, as you can see, you see categories right here. All right, and that is a multi-reference. All right, multi-reference field type. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, and it's also a read only, so you cannot change anything within the database here. But if you go onto your dashboard and then you go through your blog and you go to publish and drafts, you'll see them there, and then you can actually update however you would like, just like I did in my previous tutorial on blogs. All right, so let me go ahead and ramp this thing up again. All right, ramp this bad boy. All right, so now that we got that out the way, what I want to show you guys is a brief breakdown. All right, so this right here is similar to an if-else statement. Okay, it's more straightforward line across instead of, you using the if and else statements. So it's just parentheses, question mark, and then your true statement goes there. Then you do colon, then your false statement. Okay, so that means for this statement here, I'm saying like, is title greater than, or no, it's just greater than 50. Okay, I see that it is, then it will go through true, and then I will only take up to 47 characters and then put that 3 dots at the end of it. Okay, I went through a lot of testing for this particular template. All right, so that means this right here, I made sure that 50 characters of here looks presentable. for people on the site. Now you can do as many characters as you would like to put into whatever you have for your repeater, but as for me, I just put that in there because it actually matches up for what I'm doing. Okay, so that is what I have here. Then also I use my time ago, all right, right here, and this is just checking to see does it have a last published date. All right, if it doesn't have a last published date, it's not going to show anything. All right, and then also for title and excerpt, just have this information right here. All right, now if this has categories connected to it, all right, so let's go ahead and shift this down a little bit. If this has categories, I want to put this into a category list. And so what I did here was I did for item.categories, because item data.categories is an array itself. Okay, and so what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be saying let info equal await. All right, and this info is going to be load repeater categories, and I actually put that on here in just a second as a function, but I just wanted to put this in here previous so that I can show you guys what this thing is doing. Now this is going to go into a category, load repeater categories, and it's going to go in there and it's going to extract all of the titles. Okay, and then that's going to be pushed into this category list right here, and then also when I want to check and see if this category list length is greater than 0. If it's not greater than 0, it's not going to put anything there. Okay, and so what I want to do here is I want to add an else statement. All right, else, if there is nothing there, then I want to hide that. All right, I want to hide the categories repeater. All right, if not, I want to show it. Just so that it shows up if it has a repeater, and it shows up if it doesn't have, excuse me, not a repeater, but it shows up if it does have a category, and it shows up if it doesn't have a category. Okay, so right here, this shows category repeater options as nothing, and then it hides it. Okay, just like I did up here, it just hides it. All right, so let's go ahead and show this. So on title, when they click this title title text box right here, it's gonna go straight to that post URL. Okay, post page URL is inside of the post. I'm not gonna go into it specifically, but it is a field key. All right, and that's where the post page URL is, and that's where it will take you to this post right here. All right, and same thing goes for image. I just said OnClick event for that, and it takes you to that location also. All right, so let me go ahead and add this load repeater categories. All right, function load repeater categories. All right, so now that I have load repeaters category, what I want to do here is I want to make it an async function, because I want it to wait for certain things, okay, before it pushes stuff back out. All right, so here I want to say, let's say let info equal these quotes. All right, so that means that's an empty string. Okay, that's what I'm declaring it to be. Let's say Wix data.query, and we're gonna query that same collection. All right, blog categories. All right, but here's the twist. All right, so we're gonna say dot equals. All right, and this is going to be the ID. All right, because it only gives us the IDs from the multi-references. Okay, just to give you a heads up. Oh, sorry, excuse me for a second. Put that in the wrong place. It's supposed to be a sync, not a wait. All right, here we go. Now I want to put that parameter here. All right. So just like I showed up here, we're going to be putting in item data.categories I, which that I is going straight through the whole array that is here in the item data categories length. Okay. So now that we have that, we're going to say dot find. Gonna take that option out, and we're going to say dot then. All right. Once we get information, we're going to go ahead, make that res. And res in this sense is called results in my mind, but I just want to make it short so that it'll be just easier to see. All right. So if res.items.length is greater than 0, just to make sure, all right, then what we're going to do here is we're going to say info equals res.items, and we're going to only take the first one because there shouldn't be categories with the same name. I hope not. If so, if it has the same name, it's still going to show up as multiple ones, but we're just going to pick that first item from the list. Okay. All right. So we're going to do that. All right. If not, we're going to say info is equal to null, and that means that nothing is getting sent. All right. Okay, so once we have that, what we want to do here down here is say return that info parameter. All right. Now that we have that finished, what we want to do here is hover over top of load repeater categories, and you can see that it shows up right here above my cursor that it is a string parameter that's going to be coming out of it. All right, so boom, right there you have it. So that string will go inside of this category list.push. All right, this info is going to go right into the label and into the value. Okay, so in this example right here, I'm not pushing up any links, okay, to this categories repeater selection tags. This is just for show. It's just showing you what type of tag it's connected to. Okay. All right. So we don't have to do too much. We don't have to put in any other OnClick event. Okay. So I think that is almost everything for the repeater. Got the load categories, got the return info, and yeah, so we're almost done. All we have to do is sit here and click on here and add load categories. Okay, so we want to load the categories and load the post. All right, so once we get done with all of that, then it's here to test it. All right, and so what I want for you to do is to go up to save and click save. All right, we want to save this output. All right, we don't want this thing to show up empty the next time that we come into the Wix editor. All right, so once we save that, now we want to go ahead and preview this blog. All right, so if nothing shows up, this will be here. All right, the blog is going to be collapsed, and yeah. All right, I think that we're ready to go I see that I actually made a common mistake. I really don't need that await here. And then also I noticed that I don't, why am I putting it in the C items? What I need to use is the param, what I have right here. So we'll just scroll down just a little bit. This param is just a alias to signify like each element. So I noticed that I need to put it in as that param. Okay, and then also I noticed that I don't have the link categories label, so that might just give me a little hiccup in a sense. So I'm just going to keep it as label just to keep things short, but in the next tutorial I will go more in depth with the dynamic database page that I create for categories right here. So that will be coming up sooner than later. And I think everything looks good to go. Yeah, everything looks good to go. Also, I just want to let you guys know about one other thing. Reason why I put it down here. The post page URL, this will not work right now, because if you go back into your post, you will actually see that I didn't publish the site yet. So that's why it doesn't have its links there. And you can see that once I'll show you. Let's see. Yep, right here, just like I thought. So there's nothing in the post page URL. So that means that while I'm inside of this preview, I will not be able to actually go to this post page right here. But just know that once you publish your website, this will actually work. Just like I was saying before. So just make sure that you post your publish your site, and yeah, I think everything else is ready to go. All right, let's see if this thing shows up right. All right, as you can see here, we have everything working. We have the competition updates categories like I put in there, that's getting populated. Then we have competition here. So the various categories that these posts are a part, and then also where it shows no categories here. Okay, as you can see, it says that it's a day ago that it's been put in here, so that's pretty awesome. And then yeah, you can see here that the 50 character limit is actually working here, so this is really great. And then also here, with my 150 character is working here, and pretty much for every one of them, because they have the same information in here, just different images. So remember, this was just a preset that Wix offered you when you put in, when you go to one of the templates on their site. So that's why I'm getting all of this information here. But it's really nice, really neat, and customized to the likeliness that I wanted to have. Just like I said, if you guys click on this image, or if you click on this title, you'll actually go to the post page. But that's only after I publish this site, which I'm not gonna do right now. But you get the gist, and that is everything. That is the whole layout. It looks very nice and neat. And if you want to just separate this a little bit more, you can, or adjust it the way that you want to adjust it. Remember, your repeater is your own repeater, but the information that is getting accessed is going to be the same exact route. Okay, so that is about it. I think that this thing came out very well. So I hope you guys have fun with this tutorial. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely give it a shot. And if you have any questions, drop it below. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you aren't already. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. All right, ciao.